Okay, so the second lesson that I wanted to talk about was what to do when you have a claim, um, when you have something happen after the close of escrow that should have been discovered during the close of escrow that should have been on title. So I think we heard from Brooke last time about the tax amounts that showed up that the title company forgot to pay through escrow. So that's one example of when a boo-boo happens, the title company actually has to pay the fee. They're supposed to search all the records, right? So you get a title report that shows all the items of record. So any mortgages, whether property taxes are paid or unpaid, easements, let's say the telephone company has a right to come across the property to maintain their equipment, so easements, so all kinds of stuff comes up on a title report to do with the legal ownership and rights of a property. Oh, mineral rights is another example. Sometimes below the earth is owned by someone different than above the earth, on top of the earth. So some people retain their mineral rights, and if you think you have the mineral rights, or you don't realize that they have an easement to come on the property to, dig for oil or whatever, you want to know all those things. And one of the things is city citation. So when we were buying the 1537-39 Reisner, that's the one, if you remember, had a little bit of drama with someone breaking in and trying to take the copper pipes and created a flood. And so we thought the property had a problem when, to my relief, it was not a problem. It was just someone had broken in and actually broken the equipment, the pipes. But in the meantime, the seller, unbeknownst to us, had city citations for habitability. What that means is that cities will, want properties maintained at a certain level. Some cities more than others, obviously. So for example, in Florida, we can get fined for letting our grass be too high. So we have to have the grass maintained a lot during the rainy season, or the moist season. And actually it's the same in Indianapolis, although their rainy season is much shorter than Florida's. Florida's quite humid all year round. So in this case, there were the cement problem, the foundation problem was called out, painting on the soffit. So there was like 4, 5, 6 items that the seller was notified of on November 21st, which happens to be the first time we backed out of escrow. Then when we got back into escrow, they never mentioned it. So Tyler went and fixed the property, and we closed December 20th. So after the holidays, Tyler's crew went and started fixing things. They got done in about a month, 3 weeks, a month, something like that. And we started marketing it. And actually, he tends to market it for rent right when he's still fixing it, if it's in good enough shape to show. So all through this, I mean, we closed December 20th. So here we go to refinance in March. And at the last minute, the title company says, hey, there's a citation from the city. And I thought, that's not possible. And a lot of the things that were on there, I thought Tyler must have fixed these things. So here we are, changing management companies, and we're just now catching up with this because, of course, in March, April, May, it was pretty hard to get a hold of any city employee to get some kind of conversation going about, did this get fixed? This did not. Does this? I mean, we had no idea how long this had been going on. We did find out that it was back in November, but at the time we were like, when did this citation come up? Why did none of us know about this? And it's because it happened prior to our purchase. So now we have to go after the title company because they should have disclosed that to us, and they did not. It wasn't on the title report. It wasn't any kind of email after the fact. We closed not knowing about these mandatory repairs. So here it is so many months later, and the city says, well, you're going to have a fine of $2,500 if you don't fix this in a hurry. So, so we're trying to get that resolved. But whenever something should have been known to you during the process, should have been on the title report, whether any kind of lien, any kind of public notice, anything like that, the title company is supposed to let you know. And that way we could have stopped everything and said, hey, Mr. Seller, you have all these repairs to do. Tyler could have put a price on them. let's just say it's say $2,000, and then we could have gotten another credit from the seller, but we were never given that option because we were never told of this problem. So this is fairly small. It's like painting, you know, fixing the corner of a foundation that's a little crumbled, which I think we already fixed. I wish I could remember. I should have pulled up the document, but basically things like that. But we need to fix them in a hurry. And on top of that, because the title company who was helping us with the refinance could have stopped the loan, could have said, hey, you need to fix all these things before the loan goes through. And so I asked the title company at the time if they would be willing to do a holdback. What a holdback is where the title company or the lender, in California, the escrow company, some third party involved in the transaction holds back or retains money to make sure that whatever that problem was gets fixed, right? So in this case, the title company withheld $2,500 until we do those repairs that are on the city citation list. So now we're going after the title company to get the purchase title company, going after them to get them to give us the money because they should have notified us. Our money's being held by the lender who did the refinance because I wanted to close and get our money out of those properties because they were both paid for cash and the repairs were paid cash. So part of that burr that people love to talk about, we wanted to get our money back out, right? Because the properties were now rented. So, so we're trying to, getting a hold of someone at the city was difficult, but finally Monique, the new property manager, head of the team, got a hold of someone, is in conversation. She had them inspect already. And Tyler said he would come out of pocket to fix these things because he also should have been aware, probably should have done some of these repairs, to be honest. I mean, I was a little surprised about the painting not being done, but he got the essentials done to get the place rented. So, so the long and short of it is if there's something that's discovered after the fact, you're supposed to go back to the title company to get your money, right? Because they are supposed to cover you. That's exactly why you get title insurance, is to insure against unknown risks. So unknown risks to you, that should have been known through their due diligence on your behalf of looking through all the records, public records, obviously, to see if there's anything that you should know about that's against the property besides the seller's loan, the seller's tax bill, all the regular things. So it's really important when you buy a property to read the title report. And I know it looks so boring, but one of the first things I check is the seller who signed the contract with me the seller that's on the title? Because only the person on title can sell the property. That's one of the big gotchas that I see people not realize that they're involved in, is they don't even check to see if the same guy who signed the contract is on title. So you always want to make sure, and early on. So you want to press to get your title report as soon as possible. Obviously, they have to do their research, and that takes a bit, but you want to get it the soonest possible, and that's part of your contingency. So you want to make sure that your contingency is long enough to give the title company enough time to do the research that they need to do to give you a complete, thorough due diligence on their title report. So we'll see how much money we get out of the title company. I'm assuming we're just going to get what it costs to do these repairs, but we'll see.